Hey,
Hello, LJ. How are you?
hey, fine. How you doing, brother?
Everything is good. How you doing?
Oh, oh, good. Thank you for taking the time to do this, man.
No, I thank you for having the time to do it.
Right on. This is cool.
Everything good? Been busy doing
Yeah,
interviews?
yes, it's good. It's summertime here. It's about a week into the summer. So after I do this with you, I'm headed to the lake house with the family to ride some boats and get a sea-doo.
That sounds good. And I see animosity there on top of you on the wall. You guys last year played, did a tour to, promote that amazing record that was to promote because it's like 20 years or 21 years after its original release. How was
Uh-huh.
to revisit that record and play some of those songs live?
Oh my goodness, man. It was incredible. We actually did three legs of that run, and every night pretty much was sold out. And for me, it was like going back in time because every night you think about it, I would look out in the crowd and I would see people that hadn't been to a Seven Dust show since that album. So these cats are coming out looking like us, but with these kids that are their kids, but with these old school animosity shirts on. It was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. So what a good time. It was very special. I had a great time, and it must have been a very important album for us to do three legs of that tour. So it was a good time for all of us.
Yeah. Did you when the record is fantastic, obviously. Did you realize back then the impact that the record had?
Not at all. I just knew we were doing the same thing that we do now as we write music that feels good and feels right and that feels like we write about we're not different than anyone else. We just are able to have this canvas and we're able to paint this collage of music for everyone to understand. So we're very lucky in that sense.
Is it still exciting to write new music?
Oh yeah, especially you know what? Especially that's a good question. Especially after signing a new record deal, we forgot that bands got signed anymore. It's like, what's going on? We signed a record deal. I was like, what's going to happen now? Oh wait, you're going to be doing interviews overseas again. You're going to go overseas. You're going to do videos. This is what we're supposed to be doing. I would like to thank Napalm for taking the chance to sign us, to give us this opportunity to rebuild relationships. I'm just so excited. I feel like the pandemic kind of took us away from everything. So we were able to put all of that taken away energy to put it into this energy into Truth Killer. And I hope that everyone can feel that we're ready to come back out there, to be in front of the faces, to give everyone good music, and to also give music that we're not afraid of, not having to be the heaviest band all the time, but not, being a heavy band, but also showing you that we've evolved.
Yeah. One of the things about Truskiller and listening to it, it's, for me, Seven Dust is a very recognizable band as soon as we hear it. Not there are bands when you take your time to listen, I'm like, who the fuck are these guys?
Right, right, yeah.
With Seven Dust, we know it's Seven Dust. And what do you think makes still Seven Dust unique in that sense?
That we all come from different backgrounds, but we come from the same, but we respect each other. And there's no one that's this band has always we have it's equal. There's no one that's gonna come in a submarine jet plane and land, and another guy's gonna ride up on a bicycle, be like, okay, let's go write an album together. You know what I mean? So then you can't go into a situation with someone feeling better or higher than someone. So that's why everything is always we're here. We're a band. We're brothers. Let's do an album. If it's not for you, then it's each of us. It's not just one person that's making this happen. It's all of us, man. If one man's down, we're all down. So we go into it knowing that we're brothers and we have to do this together. And at the end, the outcome is, hopefully we're joyful.
Yeah. And, these records, when did you guys start writing? Was just after the pandemic that you guys start writing the songs?
Yeah, we were able to, lucky enough, my wife's grandparents left us a farmhouse that we remodeled. And Joe Ed died. He was 98 years old. And we went in and remodeled this house. And while being there, I said, this is the perfect place to write music. 300 acres, inspiration, quiet. The only thing that's out there now is the cattle that we have. We have like 20 head of cattle. Clint Lowry came down, was like, this is amazing. We wrote a couple of songs. Then the whole band showed up. And to put it to you this way, a farmhouse, and then there's a drum set in grandma's bedroom, a bass rig, a guitar rig, and then a setup to record. And we're rocking out in grandma's room, recording songs for Truth Killer, and then move into the second bedroom, and you got the bass and guitar like this right here in the middle of nowhere. It was the most real thing. It just made me feel like a kid that had no place to go, but you had to rock wherever you had to rock. You know what I mean? You had to do it where you could do it. And that was what was so exciting about this album. We did it like that. I remember one morning waking up after writing a couple of songs and John and Clint getting ready to go run. And John said, hey man, looking out of the kitchen window, said, I think one of your calves is out of the gate. And I was like, no, there's no way that's happening. He's like, no, I think so. And we look out there. Sure enough, one of my calves has escaped. So you got me and John Conley chasing a calf down in the middle and then going back in and writing Sevendust. So it was just, it was real. We're a real band. That's what's cool about it, man. And then we were able to take that energy to Elvis's spot, which we didn't have to worry about cattle or anything.
I was just in Ireland for a week now, and I stay in the countryside. Emily,
wait, you were where? Wait a minute, you were where?
In Ireland.
Oh, wow!
In Ireland for a week, and in the countryside, I have family there. And one of the great things of the countryside, there's a lot of farms around, and for me, it's the coolest things. It's to go near the fence and see all the cows there, and just call them and they'll come to you and they'll listen to you.
Oh yeah.
It's it's ridiculous. You just call one and then all of a sudden you start talking to the cow and the others join in and they look at you and they are very attentive of what you're saying.
It's so crazy. You don't realize how smart they are until you like what you do. When I go to the farmhouse, they know you got some of them that kind of like side eye you. But when they see that you're cool, they all show up. And you're right. They do listen to you. They're like pets.
Yeah. It's amazing. And, just sitting and it ends up being a bit therapeutical in the sense that you can just say what's going on in your head and they're not judging you. They're listening to you. They're not saying anything in return. They probably said their moos here and there.
You know what's funny? Is I do that all the time at the farm, and I'll talk to the mamas, and the little calf will be beside them, and it's like, you understand what I'm saying? You're a mother. Like, you know what's going on. But that's really true, man. I'm very close to animals and nature, and I think that's beautiful, man. Those things are that's so precious. And like you said, it's no judgment, and they only want love. Maybe not maybe a baby hippopotamus wants love, but when they get big, they'll bite your face off. But other than that, I'm good.
But you know that you have to stay away from hippopotamus anyway, because they can be very vicious, and it's big.
Man, how lucky are you? You were just in Ireland. I mean, so to me, when you say that, that's a whole different world. That's like, I'm in Kansas City right now, and I'm getting ready to go to Orlando, Florida. It's like Orlando, Florida, Ireland. I mean, so it's you're very blessed to be over there.
Yeah, it's nice. And on this record, you were saying that being in that farmhouse to write, was it nice to write without pressure? Were you guys already had signed the deal with Napalm, or you didn't have the deal when you start writing?
I think the deal was still like in process. if I'm thinking right, yeah, maybe the deal was still in process. So there's never been any pressure. We're too old to have pressure at this point in our life right now. We're like, if you don't like us, don't like us. You know, we're gonna keep going. So there's never any pressure. It was just excitement. It was excitement for us to be back together as a band, because even though during the pandemic we weren't able to tour, we were very fortunate enough to do like 3 live videos, well, live performances, where it was only the band and like 3 crew guys and like 2 camera guys, and the people, the family would buy to watch us in their living rooms in the setting, like a concert setting. So imagine this, Sevendust in this big old room, these LED walls and all this stuff, and we're rocking out, and we're like, yeah, trying to jam out to like grandma and like hopefully the whole family. And then after the song would finish, like 2 texts, because that was all that was in it. We're like, stop clapping. If there's going to be 2 of you doing it. We just in our mind rocked out for 1 million people, and it's like, that rocked. It's like one dude.
And I was that first show after the pandemic when you have.
Oh man, I'm going to tell you, these shows, not just the first show, but all these shows after the pandemic have been contagious, not in the old way, but in a good way. It has been remarkable. The kids are back out again at 10 o'clock in the morning, even though they know we're not going on until 9 o'clock at night. They're there. They're ready. The energy's good. The shows are being sold out. It reminds me of the old days of, we need this. Music to me is a medicine and a healer, and everyone just wants to come and, be doctored. And that's what we're here to do.
Yeah. I remember, after the pandemic, going to shows, and what you were saying, kids getting there early. You remind me the time that, I didn't give a shit about school. Well, I did, but, but when there was a gig, forget school. I want to see the band, and I wanted to be one of the first in line. So I would go very early, like the tour bus had just arrived, and we were there waiting for hours and hours. And seeing kids doing that gives me hope.
It gives me hope. It makes me realize, I got chill bumps right now. And just when you said that, it's like, wow. Even the time that we take away from our families or whatever is going on in our life, this is what it's about. These kids out here, or these family or whoever's out here, this is something that they need. This is important. Like, you could never take this for granted. I would never take it for granted. Even if I wasn't in the band, I would still look at it like, this is an amazing thing to be a part of, this industry. It's really cool. And thank you for taking the time, because if it wasn't for cats like you, we wouldn't be able to help move and to get our word across,
Yeah. And, going to the album, I Might Let the Devil Win. It's not, the traditional way of starting a record, because you have the piano thing. It's very calm, but your voice there, the way that you're almost whispering, like in my ear, because, I'm listening to it. And tell me what was going through your head, and lyrically, what's the song about? Because you say, like, I might let the devil win. I feel like
that everyone has that devil and that angel on their side. We all know wrong from right. Sometimes you might let them win, and a lot of times you don't, you know what I mean? So you might let the devil win, but at the end of the day, I won't let the devil win at the end of the day. But for me, for that song, I think it was incredible to introduce it as the first song at the point that we are as a band. Maybe years ago, people were like, oh man, they're not heavy anymore. We've done enough heavy. They know we can do heavy. This shows a mature side of us. But listen to this. I feel like that song to a lot of people, might be the most melodic Sevendust song. To me, it's one of the more heaviest Sevendust songs. If you think about the production and the way that it builds up to the end, it's a heavy freaking song. It gets, and so I think that was really cool. And I'm glad that people understood it. I'm sure some people are like, oh man, it's not heavy enough. But like I said, if you've matured enough with us and grown with us, then you understand that that's just the song showing a different emotion. You know, we are fathers and husbands, and we have kids, and we get fussed at by our wives like everybody else. And you know, it's like I feel like those type of songs show different sides of us as artists.
Yeah, and you know, I see this song as a perfect set opener for a tour. You know, I the build up as you were talking that goes through the song. I think it's a great setup for a show, and I think you guys should take a chance, and when you do the tour, start with it, because people might think it's kind of strange in the beginning, because people like, you know, after an intro they're like an heavy riff and guitar, so people go crazy. But I think starting like that and building the crowd, I think it could be great. You know, I love the song.
I think that's a good idea to start it out on the next tour. I want to make sure that we do that, because we hadn't even. So Fence is in the set. Everything is going to be put in the set. But that'll be a good idea to start it out with. I want to make sure. I'm gonna give you credit for that.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, if you want, you guys have nothing to prove.
Yes,
absolutely nothing to prove. And if a song is good, it's going to be good. And I think this one, as a start of a set, it's great. It's great, because
I think that's right, because if we did the album that way, why wouldn't we start the set? That's a good idea.
I think,
and have it,
try it.
Have everything dark and have it and then have it build up. All right, so we're gonna send you video. I'm making it happen. Yeah. Thank you very much.
When the tour starts, I'll keep an eye on the set list.
All right,
if you don't start, I'll just go on Instagram and say, well, damn you, LJ.
All right, I will. I want to make it happen. I want to make it happen on this tour, the next tour for sure.
And, you know, I think that, you know, this, obviously, you know, I Might Let the Devil Win is a great start. And you talk about The Fence, because The Fence is Sevendust one-on-one.
Yeah. Oh, you said one-on-one. Yes. So that song almost didn't make the album. That was the last song. Me and John were in the studio at the last minute, like, what are we gonna do? It's very old school Sevendust. Let's keep it going. We're like, don't be scared. Let's do it. Elvis was like, this is Sevendust. Let's go. And let me tell you what's so funny about that. People are loving the family are loving that song. The video was crazy. I love the video.
And, you know, if you want to give me credit, put that on the encore. And
absolutely. You got it, brother. You got it.
I think, you know, it's just one of those songs. If you start the encore with it, you know, people will go, you know, I think this album has, you know, I'm a big fan of Sevendust, and this album kind of brought me back to the early records somehow, because of the energy and the songwriting. You guys were always like on that hard rock edge, heavier side, but you always knew how to write songs.
Yes.
And on these records, the album just flows magically.
Thank you. That's what you know what? I feel like it was magically, man, just because, like I said, we've been stuck in our houses for so long. It was time for us to get back out and do what we love to do. The wives were ready for us to get out of here. You know what I mean? So it was time to get back out there. And I think writing the album, we consciously thought about what it would be like visually to perform it and to see. And that's something that you want to do too. And I think that's what we were able to capture in this album. And it's very exciting to realize that these tours are coming along. And I know that with signing with Napalm, that we are going to be coming overseas and hanging out with you. So what's up?
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
Won't Stop the Bleeding is one of my favorites on this album. I just love the melody on it. It's a great, great song.
Thank you.
What were you going through when you were writing that?
Oh, just everything, man. Just won't stop the bleeding. I feel like everyone bleeds, and what stops it? You know, at what point do you stop the bleeding in life? Like just think. I always go back to the pandemic. Like, when do we think that we were going to stop it? We never knew, but in a sense, we thought we stopped the bleeding, but in a weird way, we're still a little bit afraid of it.
Yeah.
like, what's next? You know, like, is this going to happen again? What's going to stop it? What's going to stop it? Yeah. I still like even on this last tour, everybody's like, yeah, this is great. Nobody's got anything. And all of a sudden this guy's like, and sneezes and his nose is running. I'm like, he's fucking got it for sure. What are we doing? Like, it might not be as bad, but that dude is sick. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know everybody, every time I'm in work and someone sneezes, I'm like, I'm out of here. I don't want
I
to
still man, I don't know. You tell me if I'm rude, but anytime someone sneezes, I'm like this. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm right beside you, but I'm still doing it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't need that. But so to be honest with you, so this last run, 2.5 weeks after I got home, the second day I was home, I felt a little under the weather. Not like sick, but still I wasn't 100%. And then I found out that a lot of people from the tour still felt that way. So there's still precautions and still, things to make sure that luckily we work out and we go to the gym. We, hopefully that helps. I don't know. They might next week say like, if you go work out, that's going to fucking kill you even faster. But, but you know what I'm saying? I only felt a little down for 2 days. But still, that's something to be cautious about and to think about in the world that we're living in, trying to move forward past these obstacles.
Yeah. You still have to be careful no matter what.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
And, another song that I really enjoy in this record is No Revolution. Very heavy riff, but as that electronic bed underneath, the electronic elements, they mix really well together. It's it's a great song.
That's Clint Lowry doing his new thing, man. He loves it. I love it. I think it was a great element to this album. There's no illusion. So now when you say these songs, I want to tell you honestly, after recording the album, I remove myself from the album completely until it comes out. So when you just said No Resolution, I didn't think about that song until you said it, and then it just popped into my head. So like with Fence, a month ago, when we went in to rehearse, we hadn't played that song since we recorded it. And they're like, we want you guys to play that. They want you guys to play that on the tour. We're like, we ain't never played it together. We played it twice. Muscle memory, we were fine. The song kicks ass. So I like to go through an album like that. So like I feel fresh with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
it makes sense.
Yeah, and it's fun for me that way. After recording, I don't want to listen to it and bang it all the way up until now and be tired of it.
Yeah.
I shut it down and then I bring it back up. And so when you're saying songs right now, I'm like, oh my God, I love that song. I love that song.
This is the kind of record that you could play from start to finish and then do like more 3 or 4 songs of the best of Sevendust, whatever.
Oh,
and I think would be a great set regardless.
Oh, well, thank you. So what I'm going to do when I get to the lake this weekend, I'm going to get on the boat and I'm going to listen to the whole album because I haven't done that since we recorded it. Just like I said, I just like to get it. I like to be fresh and I like to hear it like everyone else hears it again and excited. You know what I mean? And just, oh my God, I forgot I did that. I forgot we did that. It's like, and it's really fun for me that way, to relearn stuff too.
Yeah. LJ, before we end this interview, got some quick questions.
Yes.
You can just answer and then if you need to justify a bit. So I call it rapid fire. So, what was, first one, what was the worst rumor you heard about you online?
The other day, a gentleman said, I've been waiting for 26 years to ask you this. I can't believe this is one of those weird questions. I was going to tell Kevin, I don't want any other weird questions like this. So he said to me, is it true? I had a radio lady say that 26 years ago that you couldn't bring the program director should not bring their girlfriends or wives around you. And I said, what did that mean? I said, he said, well, did you take someone's wife? I was like, no, I didn't. I said, I would have never thought we would have had time to do that. But I said, I'm sorry to damper that fantasy. I said, I wish I was the man like that, but I wasn't. that's no, you know, I don't have that much bad news about me. Yeah, I don't really. I've been trying to be good this, you know, my whole life. I enjoy my career. Let's see, anything other bad than that? We could probably go off record and talk about some stuff that have happened that I've definitely seen and not wanting to say.
Who was the most nagging band member?
The most nagging?
Yeah.
I don't, man. Oh, this sucks. I don't know if anyone really nags. But maybe if anyone, maybe it'd be Morgan. It's Morgan.
Sleep with socks, yay or nay?
Depends on the surroundings. Has to be, because I have OCD. So right now, even in my house, I have socks on. When I wake up in the morning, I put socks on. So yay, socks.
Yeah. What was the best concert you never attended?
Woodstock with Jimi Hendrix.
I'm going to put you on the wall with this one. Jimi Hendrix or Prince?
As I sit here, oh my God. Wait a second. Where's my backpack out? All right. Damn it. It's going to have to be Jimmy. But it's got to be Prince too. Hold on one second. It's going to have to be Jimmy. So I'm a collector. I created a word. I call myself a mantiquer. So if any times you come to the States, you have to come to my bar and you'll see from everything is antique. Like that's the first bulb. That's the first globe that has a light bulb inside of it, right? So you talk about Jimi Hendrix. This got presented to me. I have the electric Ladyland actual concert booklet that was just given to me. It's from '69.
Wow.
And I have the poster too. So I just pulled this out of my backpack from tour just because you just reminded me I had it. Look at this.
So cool.
Is that not crazy? That's the actual from '69. That's like the real deal. And I have the poster that was on my buddy's wall from '69 when he got it. It's in a case on the bus. So yeah, I would say Jimi Hendrix, but Prince, I don't know. That's really hard.
Yeah, I know.
I was actually invited to Prince's house to ride the dang motorcycle and everything. He wasn't there, but it was one night and I was a little tipsy, so I said I don't want to go to Prince's mansion and ride the motorcycle drunk. True story. Without him there.
LJ, thank you very much for your time. You know, all the best for Sevendust. I hope to see you guys here in Portugal or somewhere in Europe.
My God. I can't wait to get to Portugal. Please have us over. Invite me over. I'll be there, my brother.
We will do our best. Thank you very much for your time. All the best.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you guys soon, all right?
Yes. I hope to see you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Awesome.